Okay, let's get something straight. MFA is not identity security. It's authentication hardening. MFA makes it harder to log in with stolen credentials. So that's useful, but it's not the same as trusting the identity behind the login. So if MFA is your main identity control, you're guarding the door and ignoring what happens inside the door. So MFA solves a very specific problem here. It reduces the password compromise. It reduces credential stuffing, phishing reuse, basic account takeover. That's it. MFA protects the authentication moment, right? It does not protect sessions or your token or even the actions taken after the login. So once access is granted, MFA steps completely out of the picture. So architecturally, MFA belongs at risk-based decision points, right? So you must enforce MFA on external authentication for privileged users, even for some administrative actions or high risk access path and all these things. MFA should actually integrate with your IAM, your conditional access, the device posture, location and behavior signals and all this. So blind MFA everywhere is actually not a good architecture. It's just getting panic and having MFA everywhere. Okay, so this is where MFA become useless. Some common mistakes are using same MFA rules for all users and all actions, ignoring the service and non-human identities, right? So having only the human identities into picture for MFA, right? So that's a common mistake. And MFA bypasses for trusted network, right? And also MFA deployed once and never revisited. So all these are obviously common mistakes. So static MFA policies are always predictable and predictable controls obviously have some workaround, right? So when used correctly, MFA gives you some real values. So it actually reduces your credential based attacks. Of course, it does that. Increases attackers' cost and it also improves authentication audit trails, right? What it doesn't do, it will not stop token theft, it cannot stop session hijacking, it cannot stop damage from overprivileged users, right? In short, MFA verifies who logged in, not what they're allowed to do after they log in. So this is where belief replaces the design, right? So some common assumptions usually people have is we have MFA, so our identity is secure. No. And MFA without device trust, MFA without session controls, MFA without monitoring fatigue patterns. So MFA does not prevent misuse, it only slows your entry, right? And as usual, I'll end with a warning, which architects like me learn the hard way, right? So MFA fatigue is real. Exceptions grow quietly within your organizations. Users get trained to approve prompts without thinking, right? So overusing MFA weakens it. One architectural rule, if I want to say, apply MFA when your risk changes, not constantly everywhere, right? So security that users ignore is not security. So that's one control explained properly. This video is part of security controls through an architect lens series, and I'm Sabah, and we break down real security architecture one control at a time. Thank you.